What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We are back with another Musume video. In this video, we are going to train Oguri Cap. It was honestly expected. I haven't even tried training her off camera, so might as well just try her training now. I also decided maybe I should just try Trait. No, actually, there was another option. It was try Duramente. She was another option. Um, Maybe she'll be tomorrow. I just kind of wanted to continue off leader just to try it out again because I believe, yeah, yesterday's run wasn't that great, or it could have been, but it was missing some stuff. I don't really exactly remember the run yesterday. I just know it didn't cut it. So that's why we were here training Oguri Cap just to see if we can train another one. I know I have trained her a lot recently, so maybe this will be the only video for Cap this prep, but who knows, maybe I will be training her, or maybe most likely I will be training her off camera if once I decide who I decide to train for the videos, at least. And then just to make it a little bit different, and then still have a certain few off camera that I would work on myself. And then I don't know, we'll see what happens. I guess it all pretty much depend on how many runs a day I can pull off, but I guess that'll be all on me. As for the setup, is pretty much the same as yesterday's setup because I don't really have leeway for anything else. I could try to one power with Nishino Flower, but then I'm more worried about my guts not making it high enough. Then again, I could use another guts card, or I could use a guts card instead of stamina Shakur. But actually, maybe for Cap it wouldn't be too bad, because from what I remember, for all like for what I remember, what they would always say for Christmas Cap, at least every time for the CM or League of Heroes, it would be stamina requirements are normally a lower than normal Uma's because of her unique. Some, I don't know. I don't really have a guts card to throw in there except for you know who. You know who. Yeah, I don't really have any guts card unless I'm gonna put in my level 35 or Ferv. So yeah, I don't even have that. And I don't have any access to check other than renting. So to be honest, leader might not just be the move for the CM if I let that deter me away from training. But because I don't really care if I don't have the ideal setup or the meta setup, I'm not gonna let it deter me. I'm still gonna train. I'm not gonna care. I'm gonna train whoever I want. Although it seems like maybe my best option would probably be sticking to chasers, probably. Or even escape, since I don't have to worry about getting check. Or I guess even in this case, in this case, even Dance to Flame, according to Tanoki, I don't need to worry about that stamina card. Maybe this will be the last leader I train on video for the CM. Maybe we'll start focusing more on escape and chasers for the rest of the prep, at least for the videos wise. Who knows? All I know is that I'm not gonna let it stop me from training, because in any game, if you get easily unmotivated or just basically unmotivated from not training or playing the game because you don't have the quote-unquote ideal meta setup, and I don't know what to tell you. It's gonna be hard for you to play games like these, or just, I guess it's just in general, it's just gonna be hard to play games, or if you want to be, or if you want to take the game seriously, then you're gonna have to be a whale to do that. But I'm just gonna get the run started, and while that is loading up, if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There's a channel called Circle Quest for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. It's called Shushu. It's called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request join, it'll let me know that you want to join the circle. And then after that, head over to the comment section or to the circle request channel in the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name. Just to let me know that you sent the request, and just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, I don't even know if I said everything that I normally say there, but it is what it is. It turns out even yesterday, I think yesterday I managed to get the video up on time, like barely. Because I think by the time I started uploading, the upload time was like 5, maybe 10 minutes. It told me it was going to be done before my upload. I was like, I made it. I made it in time. But it is what it is. But it is what it is. If there was a chance I was going to be a few minutes, but I did it. I did it. And I do have the comments loaded. So let me just do this and start the comments off by going over Nova's. The first one says, I win again, Eugen. Yeah. I don't know if I feel like the only time Eugen will be able to do the first comment is if either he does what Nova told him and just leaves a comment on the last video before I record, or after I record, or he somehow posts before Nova. Because it seems like Nova will at least, it seems, I don't know if it's for real, but it seems like Nova will at least throw a comment within the first hour. I don't know if it's within the first minutes, first couple minutes. So I think that would be the only opening. Unless he ends up forgetting or busy around that time. I don't know. Manova says, I have like 4,000 clocks. I'm not even sure who complains about not having clocks nowadays. I just never really felt like I ran out at one point. And I've been playing every day at the very least. At least one run. Even when I do one run, but if I don't do an extra, I count it as not doing an extra run. Or I don't count it as doing a run. Only because it's part of the dailies. So yeah. So me doing like these daily videos, I don't necessarily count them as my daily run, but I do at the same time because it does cover the dailies, the daily run that I need to cover the dailies. But for me, I need to run at least an extra run to count it as a run a day. Tanoki says, because you're a Uma dinosaur and real runs don't burn clocks. Only parent runs do. I had 1,000 pre-auto, then burnt till 500 in the scenario. Now back to up to 1,300 due to Cygame's generosity. I don't think I even have 2,000. I think I have at least 1,300, like what Tanoki says. I think. Because I do remember it not even being in the 2,000s, so... And I think I was on the lower half. So I'm gonna go with the middle of 15 out of 1,000. Just go 13 with what Tanoki says. But I'm pretty sure I don't have 1,500 or 2,000, so I don't think it has to do with I don't think it has to do anything with how long. Well, maybe it does a little bit, but at the same time, Nova didn't really do as much runs for the most part until not one time he did 5+ or 5 runs a day at first CM, and at first CM he did that, and recently with the League of Heroes. So besides those 2 times, it's quite understandable why he would have that many clocks. Plus on top of that, I don't know if he really did even use it much to begin with on normal runs for himself, on his normal daily runs. Plus, even if he did, he probably only used like 1 or 2. Because he typically just did, what, 1 or 2 runs before? So yeah, I can see why he has a lot. Then Nova responded saying, must suck to be poor young one. I would say I have about the same amount as Tanoki. And me and you has played since the beginning. Well, I'd say that is a fact. But the amount of time due to your hiatus and all that doesn't really equal it. Doesn't really equal it, but whatever. Oh, we failed that training. We've been failing. I've noticed that even off camera, I've been failing a lot of trainings in the middle mark. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Gotta keep your pants on, Shushu. Zenless update can come later for me. I still need to save. I mean, if my wallet is gonna be going 90% WUWA and 10% GFO2, then I need to go free to play in Zenless. Uma will be free to play until the half annie drops, and then those delicious packs and paid banners will be mine. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it was supposed to be last night or this Thursday. The reason why I say that is nothing's going on. By now, it's just pretty much all of those who... It just gives those who didn't do the event like an extra 2 days. The events weren't even that hard. Literally. One, you're like taking 2 to 3 pictures per like group, and then the other you're just you just chose options and sent in whoever you wanted to send in. There's literally nothing to do unless you haven't done all of these side stuff, all the side missions. So I don't really see what there is to do to quote unquote save besides side missions at this point, unless you haven't caught up in the story. Then I can't think of any reason, because there's only so much to save. There's only so much you can save when there aren't any events going on. So yeah, it doesn't matter. 2 days or last night, it would have made a big difference. Because one, we don't get the anniversary rewards for the update happening. So all the I think the extra pulls we would have gotten are not available yet. And there's a lot of people who are most likely waiting for it to start so they can get started on getting all the currency and pulls they can get from 2.0. At least the first phase. So it doesn't necessarily make sense that you still need to save if the difference is just 2 days and there are no events happening to give us more. Well, it would be more beneficial if the update happened, because you can get more. And then again, even though you did say 90% is going to WUBA and 10% is going to JFL2, I feel like if need be, you'd still go for it. You'd still have to. I feel like you'd still drop a Benji or so. I still feel like you'd do it. So I don't know if it really matters. Plus, on top of that, you said you had like 19k. For the most part, you should be good on getting. Hate to say this. If it's bad, you're gonna use pretty much majority of that on the character, which I don't want to happen for anyone. That'd be the worst thing to wish upon someone, at least in the gacha community. Unless you're that unless you just want to be rude, then I guess. 32. So yeah, I'd rather have the new update out just so we can get more currency. Because 19k could be enough, especially if you already. Well, it'll be more worth it, or enough, if you already know you're guaranteed by previously losing a 50-50. Or one, or even for both. Or one, or even both. Then yeah, unless you get really lucky, I guess. From there on, if you don't have the guaranteeds, then you just gotta go through the ringer and just hope for the best with 19k. Because how much is a whole rotation? It goes up to 90, right? I think it goes up to 90. Was this basically It's 90. I would just go with 90 total pulls, right? So that's a 60, 160 per pull. So we do that 90 times. A whole rotation is 14K. If they bring you down to all the way down to pity. If it's not that 16,000 at 100, but I don't remember if it's 90 or 100. But we'll just say in between 14,400 to 16K is the rotation. And that's just for one. That's not considering that you get the pull in the middle of that. So it all at the end of the day, it all depends on how RNG works. But there are two kinds of traps here. One is those trap characters in anime, which I do find interesting. Alright? And then there's Eugen's childish traps. From now on, I just won't trust Eugen's circle report and sensor tower for gacha revenue. I'm more surprised you believed it as well. From when I read it, at least. At least, that's how I feel. I thought you were... Well, for me, it's like, I obviously just trusted Eugen, like I said. And... I guess judging by how Nova responded to Eugen's comment yesterday, it does sound like he didn't realize it also. So yeah, the fact that you managed to, I guess, trick both of us. I mean, you should know based on when I've said that sometimes I look around Discord. It's not a guarantee that I do see things. Maybe I dropped by, I didn't look at everything. Or I just didn't drop by that day. Or I just looked just to look. So maybe you have you assume that we looked. Or at least I looked. But doesn't mean that I always look. I've stated that before. I don't always look. I'll be honest, I haven't looked until... Actually, I did look one time after checking Discord in yesterday's video. Other than that, no. From now on, I just won't trust in Eugen's circle report and sensor tower for gacha revenue. Well, I guess that definitely shows me that Nova believed what I said instead. Yeah. Yeah. So, Eugen, as you can see, me and Nova had complete trust in you. And then you decided to put a trap there. And it didn't work, I guess, the way you expected it to. So I wonder how that makes you feel, Eugen. This is why it's safe to say that you shouldn't make assumptions. You shouldn't make assumptions Because that means Noah fully trusted what I was going to say about the circle report. So now if you think about it, it's going to be other people who's going to trust my circle report coming from reading your comment. They think if you keep playing games over there, especially for those who joined the circle and are watching the videos, and you'll be throwing traps out there or little tricks out there while me and Nova is falling for it. You're over there kikiing up all about, thinking it's funny when, if you think about it, there are people, other people in the circle who probably did believe that as well, because they probably didn't see it, and I wonder why they didn't see it. So yeah, Eugene, think about it. But continuing on with Nova's comments, to be honest, I only started doing more runs towards the end of May, but this month though, we'll see. I don't know. Will we see you continue? Will we see you continue training a decent amount? I'll try that 23. Or will you go back to your old ways and just do like one a day? I don't know. I feel like you'll probably keep going. And then once a new scenario hit, you're gonna get your feel for it. And then train until you feel comfortable with it, I guess. And then once you hit that comfortable spot, I'll say within a month to 2 months, you go back to your old ways. You go back to it. At least that's how I see it. Because I still don't see you actually doing 5 to 6 runs a day for the long term. I just don't see it. It's Nova. I don't see it. I can see them in spurts after like every couple months, but not for the long term. And then the last few comments from Nova says, I got bamboo memory. No idea what that is, but oh well, at least she's new. It's not no reason, so I'm happy. I think she's just a short mile distance between her. I think I only trained her like once or twice, I think. And I believe it was for short distance. I think he's more like a... Hold on. I think he's more like a mini Ghetto Nova since he has this free-to-play mentality going on. But we're still 2 different people. And then you just says, all I can say is, ooh, smirk. And then Tanoki says, yeah, I'm not hoarding the horde. Side game's just not really releasing top priority targets. That's what I said. That's why I said he didn't pull for Espor's. That's why I said Espor's City's still priority. It's just they never released her. And all the other ones. She's just waiting. He's actually just waiting, but it still feels similar to how Nova is, because if you think about it, top priority target, you're not really pulling still as much as Nova's not pulling. It's still pretty much the same. Just the reasoning is different. Or is it? Or is it? Because Nova's basically hoarding because he's only pulling for Umas who are, I guess you could say, top priority targets him, because he basically said he only pulls 5 a year. At least that's what he said. And he'll only pull pretty much if it's support cards he feel like he needs. Isn't that pretty much the same? Isn't that pretty much the same with you? Pulling the cards you feel like you need to pull at the time, and then just top priority target. It's still the same. Just the reasoning is different. You can say you're not hoarding the horde, but it definitely just still looks like it either way. If you're not pulling for anything, it's like, I'm gonna just hoard. If I have no reason to pull, then you're just hoarding. But that's besides the point. The point is whether you're hoarding to hoard or not. It just so happens it's kind of hard to assume that you're not hoarding when you have over 100k or 120k from yesterday's comment, right? You can't really say that having 4 pities worth of savings isn't hoarding. Because you could say that you're hoarding for future purposes, which am I not? Am I wrong or am I right? You are saving these for future pulls, top priority targets, and whatever cards. Because you can't say you're not hoarding when you're not really having, you don't have, when you're not pulling. So what are you doing? You're saving, which is technically hoarding because you don't feel like you want to use your carat jewels or anything else. Just saying. I don't know what I want to pick here. I would just go with wise, I guess. Trained a UC6 Vivlos with no check during this video. Back to grinding, I guess. Oh yeah, you're training between her, so because she would need check, right? And then the last one from Nova says, I think Bubblegum Fellows Unique won't be that good in this CM. It's probably only good for mile to 2000. From what I remember, if you want the added boost, it's mile to 2000 meters. Or was it 16 to 2000, whatever it is. Doesn't mean her unique won't be good for the CM. Her unique will still activate regardless. It just doesn't get the added boost. Plus, she didn't consider that her evolution skills does activate in mile medium races, so she gets that added boost from her evolution skills, which is actually pretty decent. Which is, let me see. During the latter part of the middle leg, your speed will slightly increase, mile medium only. The effect is much stronger if you're leading at most 5 meters from the lead. And then your speed will slightly increase when there's 200 meters remaining in the race, mile medium only. If you're leading or at most 2.5 meters from the lead during the final straight, your speed will increase tremendously. So even if she doesn't get the added boost from her unique, she still gets it. A good additional boost from her evolved skills. You only telling me about the unique tells me you didn't look at her other stuff. So there you go. And even then, there's gonna be those who don't care if the unique will be completely good on their Umas. They'll just use the Uma if they want to use the Uma, at least if their unique is usable or will at least activate. That'll probably be The only thing. But yeah, I still think Bubblegum Fellow will do fine in the CM. I still feel like she'll be fine. Because although her unique won't have the full effect, the full effect, because it's not a mile distance to 2000. Even if it doesn't have that, it doesn't mean she's bad for it. Her unique skill will activate towards the end of the race. On top of her evolution skills, 2 of them, I'll help her out in medium distance, giving her really good additional boost to her evolution skills. I don't see how she won't be at least decent at the very least for the CM. You tell me, Nova. You tell me, Nova. He did say I think. But you did just specifically say unique skill. It's just a speed skill. Pretty much just like the old caps, the OG caps, where it will activate towards the end of the race. It just doesn't get the added boost. If you're just judging by added boosts or not, you're not looking more into her stuff. Other than that, thank you, Nova, for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. Next comment will be from Eugen? Yes, from Eugen. And the first one says late lunch, and it's Shopao or dim sum. I think. And boo for Nova for commenting early. I think this will be a normal recurring thing of you to say that. Boo Nova for Nova commenting early. It's gonna be a normal thing, I feel, with how it look, with how it is. It maybe. Oh wow, see what I mean? We failed that training again, and it was halfway. Why? Why? And then Nova responded saying, "Teehee, just teehee." What? Hold on, let me refresh this because I'm fairly certain I liked and hearted all these comments I already went over. It's weird. I don't think I'll be able to max out on the dates. Same thing as yesterday. I kind of just I guess lost track, I guess. It's funny because it only happens during the videos, but it's fine. Next comment from Eugen says, the plan was leaving it blank and I didn't realize you would fall for that. Believe Nova can pull that amount of fans. It would be believable if it's around 20 million. Well, I did say I wasn't. Well, yeah, if you put it that way. But one, did you consider how my attention sometimes doesn't really stick while I'm going over comments and playing? For example, I didn't keep up with my dates. I'm still 4 dates behind. That was a thing yesterday also. And yeah, and I was still under the impression, or I still am, but Nova was doing a lot of runs, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if he had done that since the beginning of May. So I just gave him that possibility, maybe. But at the same time, I don't know what you've been doing. I know for the most part you probably have done just what is it? Auto training for the most part, but I was just under the impression that you didn't do much runs, only because, well, I guess even without that, you were still doing a lot of runs. But regardless, I was just like, he hasn't trained in what it feels like forever. At least that's what it seems like. Because there's like nothing new. No new update on like a new turbo or like whatever. So I'm just like, is Eugen really training? Well, yeah, he's doing free auto training. But at the same time, it's like, it doesn't feel like it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nova's telling me all his training results, and I'm just here like, ooh. Ooh. So yeah, I don't know, but it is what it is. I guess you didn't check the actual score that I regularly placed on Discord, and it's even sorted out. It's not, I guess. I literally checked it yesterday after your comment. It's not an I guess. I didn't check the actual score. Because I don't always check Discord, because I'm not always on Discord, which I have stated a couple times in the past. So, and you may say you posted on Discord, but can you tell me actually how many people can see that? So if you want to pull off your tricks and all that, it looks like you didn't consider the fact that I would just completely believe you. And you didn't think about all the other circle members who are possibly, I say possibly because I don't know if they're actually making it this far into the video or they care. But for those who care, you kind of mess with their emotions as well. So there you go. And a Nova's run, some of them are retired if it doesn't meet the requirements. Well, from what he says, yeah, he says he would run 9, but like 3 or 4 of them would be essentially duds. Essentially. And then Nova says, mandatory? Oh no. For me, I don't really care. Unless like it really feels like a dead run. Like within early on. Like I failed like 2-3 trainings before the summer training. Or just the stamps are complete garbage. Unless I'm recording, of course I'll keep going, but there are those rare instances where I do quit. But for the most part, I don't. Other than that, thank you, Eugen, for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. And lastly, from Tanoki, I think that's all about you can do for the build for leaders. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. I suspect Power Nishino isn't MLB. No, I did say she only had 3 dupes. I did say that. Also, I've been told that solo stamina creek isn't the same as solo stamina shakur. I don't want to sound like I'm being rude or anything, but I think if anyone would have known the release date between the two, I think it makes sense that solo stamina creep isn't the same as solo stamina shakur. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think I would have known that, whether or not you told me that. But also, since now I've been told, that stamina creep isn't the same as solo stamina shakur, even though that should have been painfully obvious. It's just if you don't have stamina creep, but you have easy access to, or if you don't have stamina shakur, you just have easy access to stamina creep. But since, like I said, I've been told this now, will it stop me? No. You know why? Because I don't care. What did I say earlier in this video? I won't let me not having these cards for a more ideal build deter me from playing the game. Because one, I still enjoy the game. Two, I'm still having fun with the game, with normal training, with whatever setups I have. It all just depends on you. It all just depends on you. Or on the individual. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it at. But other than that, thank you Tanoki for the comment. Appreciate it as always, and also Nova Eugen. I think that's it. I didn't see a comment from Rick. Yeah, thank you Nova, Tanoki, and Eugen for the comments. Appreciate it, as always. But let's just pick the rest of these skills and go from there. I should have 3 recovery. Should. With 104 left. I don't know. This cap had potential. I was just a little short on the other 3 stats, but it had potential. So knowing that it had potential, and knowing that my build is not the most ideal, I think I'll push the leaders to more of the off-camera runs, and then I'll probably push more of my chasers out there. Probably. Like Dormente, obviously. Maybe I'll throw in Ida. Something. Most likely not leader, but we'll see. Maybe I'll at least throw in a tail run at least. Just so we can get a tail run out here. And then after that, I'll just do it all on off camera, and then I'll see who I actually do train, because I don't know, there's still a good amount of options and I won't mind. But Ended off with 1827 speed, 1381 stamina, 1133 power, 1152 guts, and 1114 wise with an S on leader. On leader. And obviously that won't make it to the top 3. So with that being said, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on your Umas for the CM, and if there's anything else y'all would like to talk about or ask me, just leave it down in the comment section down below. As long as appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description. There's a channel called Circle Quest for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shoo Shoo. Once you give that a search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. And then after that, head over to the comment section or to the circle request channel. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.